you're good to go.
All right, thank you. So we're off and running. It's 3 o'clock. Thanks everyone for joining. Commission updates. Do I need to run through these updates or do you, Claudia?
Um, First and foremost, let's go ahead and do roll call. Zoe, if you can go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. I have to put that as an
Absolutely.
item on here.
Just go ahead and say here, Mayor Mike Johnston or Timothy Hoffman, Anne Marie Braga or Mimi Shorman, Director Al Gardner, Chief Ron Thomas, Sheriff Elias Diggins, Judge Carrie Lombardi, Katie McLaughlin or Marley Bodovsky, Colette or Leanne Biggs. I thought I saw Leanne.
Sorry, couldn't
Hi.
unmute here.
Karen McGowan or Alice Nightingale.
Here.
Hello. Carrie Heck. Yesenia Guzman.
I'm here.
Hello. Blake Renner. DDA John Walsh. Judge Lori Clark. Dr. Jennifer Gafford. Deanne Witzk. Kara Napolitano.
Hi everyone, I'm here.
Hello. Orlando Salazar. Anthony Pfaff.
Here.
Hello. Councilwoman Serena Gonzalez Gutierrez. Councilman Paul Cashman. Councilwoman Sarah Parody. Matthew Kirsch. Jonathan McMillan. Greg Morrow. And Keto Bess. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. Quick question. I know this is for Claudia. Do we have quorum for voting members?
It's actually for Zoe. Zoe, do we have that information?
So quorum is 15 commissioners, and currently we only have 6 on the call. So we do not.
All right. So how many, I don't know which one of you are in charge of in terms of what this agenda is, but how many voting points do we have on this agenda? I think it's one,
Correct.
right? Okay. So, and that is the budget. Which one is the voting portion of the agenda?
I'm sorry, what was that question again?
Which item on the agenda is for the voting item?
It would be
That we're
the presentation for wellness, Denver
okay,
County Courts.
got it. Okay, so we will take that off then because we don't have quorum. Okay. All right. So now we're on commission updates.
Director, just want to add one item for clarification. We
Yeah,
can still, Molly Samoji should be on the call, so she can still just
do
have
the
a
presentation.
we
Got
just
it.
will not be able to vote. I've asked Zoe to keep track as other members come on. So maybe after Molly's presentation, we can see if we have enough voting members that will then be able to vote on
Yeah.
that. If not, we may have to defer it till the next meeting, but we can still off the presentation.
Yeah, because here would be my problem with that. If we have enough voting members that don't join, then she'll have to do this presentation again so they have enough information. And I would hate to have her do it twice, but I get it.
Leanne?
Go ahead.
Colette wasn't able to join, and so I know with the meeting invite, I don't know if there's a possibility to email. I know that a lot of emails were sent, but just typically we'd have more folks on.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Um, yeah, let's run. We can run through the updates. Then we can talk about nominations if they join. And to your point, Shanae, we're going with if not, then we'll skip over that. So,
Really
So,
quick, Leanne, I just sent that link over to Colette.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, no problem.
okay, so nominations for chair and co-chair. I'm guessing this is the first bullet I see on here. So, I don't think we received any nominations. Is that correct, Zoe or Claudia?
That is correct. I have not received
Okay.
anything.
I know that's because everyone's just waiting to this meeting to send their nominations in for chair. I'm sure that's it. So be sure to use the chat as much as you'd like to. I want to make it, I probably should say this because Jonathan is stepped down as chair. So we are absent that space, obviously. It's a much needed, the chair and co-chair are much needed spots to be filled. I will say, as we start to talk about our ability to function effectively as a board, we probably should think very deeply about that and have some honest discussion about that as we look at participation and chair, only because if we take a reflect back and take a look at the if we take a look at what the audit report said, and I'm skipping ahead here, but the largest parts of that were really board functionality pieces. They're normal board functionality pieces, and that probably speaks to someone's ability that would really need to fill that spot. Because absent of that, it would be really difficult for viability for CPCC. So just want to impress that upon you. I still believe the board is obviously it's a very important board, but if we don't have that leadership there, so please give a deep thought to how we can fill that. Subcommittee updates. I don't know how many subcommittees we have, but
So we have 3 subcommittees.
okay,
First one being the budget committee. The
okay,
second one is bylaws and ordinances. And then we
okay,
also have our data committee. I have already set meetings for the budget committee and also for the data committee. And the only one that we are having problems or we haven't gotten enough people to respond is for the bylaws and the ordinance subcommittee.
okay.
So I went ahead and sent an email to that committee so that we can go ahead and hopefully get that set up here in the next coming days or weeks.
Okay, great. All right. We're at the audit report. Is there anything specific you want to cover there? Oh, I'm sorry. Leanne, you had your hand up.
Hi, this is Colette Tibet, actually. I'm sitting in Leanne's office.
Okay.
I can't get on. And so Leanne's in my office trying to get on. I don't know if other people have had a hard time getting onto the link.
It requires you to
Oh.
It said I have to create, I've been in a million of these meetings, and today it's saying I have to create a Zoom account.
in order to verify or to be
I don't know if
authenticated.
if someone out there can send me a link and I'll try it again, but I just wanted you to know because I've been trying to get on since 3. So
Yeah, I've been sending the link information, what we have. Have you tried trying to get on the link through our CPCC website through the city and county?
no.
try.
Okay, Leanne's gonna try that. Sorry.
Okay, let me take
If
a
you,
look and
Claudia,
see
if
if
you
I
could
can
send it
send
to
it.
me at Colette Tibet.
That's fine, I will do that. I'm looking for it right now.
Thank you. I'll try to jump on in my office. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, it says Claudia. I don't know if there's something specific you want to cover before I have a couple of words regarding the audit committee that I'll be sitting in front of tomorrow.
If you want to go through it and then I can go through the presentation for the audit while I send these links over.
Okay, yeah, I don't have the audit with me, so you feel free to go through it. I was just going to give some narrative on what I expect to do with the audit committee. So I'll talk about that while you're getting the other stuff together.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So tomorrow, of course, the audit committee is at 9 a.m. Shanae, am I right? I think I'm right. It's at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
That is correct, sir.
Okay, thank you. So it's tomorrow at 9 a.m. And that will be with the auditor, Tim O'Brien, and whoever's on that committee. As you see, I think can't remember a number of items that came up on the audit report, but essentially our response back to Tim O'Brien and his audit committee was we accepted all of those audit items. Like I aforementioned, all of the audit items that were on there had to do with board governance. And essentially, we lacked the documentation to be able to answer those completely. So it's probably in our best interest rather than try and spin something up quickly to try to answer those. The logical response there is to agree with those audit items and basically come back in a few months and let them know that we're working on it. So I have nothing really grand to say to them tomorrow other than you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, and we're working on it.
Correct.
Mhm. Okay.
And
Anything specific that you want to discuss in this around the audit?
I did want to bring up our presentation. Let me just bring it up for a couple of minutes.
Okay. Zoe, could you check to see if we have
Quorum.
quorum now?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank
Did
you.
anybody join the call after the roll?
I believe Colette did.
And Mimi Sherman. I'm here too.
I did,
Hi,
yes.
Mimi.
Okay, so 2 people, 3 people.
So question, since I have Leanne and Colette for the same, under the same designation, does that allow for an additional person within?
No, it just still counts as one because it could
As
be
one.
Colette or designee.
Okay, so no, we do not. It's at 7.
Okay, thank you, Zoe. Who's going to do the budget update? Is that you, Claudia, or is that you, Shanae? Who does
That's
that?
Shanae.
That would
Let's
be
go ahead and do that while Claudia's teeing up the
I just got
other
it.
item.
I
You got it?
apologize.
All right. No
Yes.
problem. All right.
All right, so we're just going to go over the audit recommendations and findings. I was able to send this over to everyone. Hopefully, everyone had a chance to take a look at it and just kind of have it in your view. Just want to go over the first audit finding. It was vendor agreements are not sufficiently monitored to ensure timely, accurate, and usable data is received. And the findings that they had, there were 4 findings. The first one being enforced contract terms and what we are doing in terms of making sure that we are adhering to the compliance for the audit is making sure that we are going through our contracts and making sure that the data team and also the finance team is aware of the information that we are receiving. And hopefully what we will start doing is doing internal audits to make sure that we are receiving the information that is required within the contract. The second item is that of review and revise performance metrics. What we decided to do was to go forward with these subcommittees to be able to establish them and make sure that we have another set of eyes, which would be the commissioners on the board, to make sure that they're going through and making sure that we are adhering also to the performance measures that we are requiring for each vendor to comply to. The third item is to validate data. And with that, we are trying to improve the accuracy and contract compliance by making sure that we are checking with our finance team and also having another set of eyes so that we can make sure that we are receiving the invoices on time when they're due within the month. And again, also making sure that we're doing audits. The fourth item is to create a detailed review guide. And what we're really working on internally is making sure that we have a policies and procedure manual set up so that way we can go through and make sure that we are having those specific processes within our policy and procedure manual. Now, just going to go through the audit findings. the audit finding number 2, which is to have stronger oversight and documentation processes that are needed within the program. And we had 8 recommendations from the audit office. First one is to update and review and revise governing documents. And what they really spoke to that was making sure that we had it updated and enforce the conflict of interest policy. So what we are planning on doing here at the Department of Public Safety is making sure that we are working with the City and County of Denver's Board of Ethics to make sure that they facilitate a meeting for the commissioners to be able to have that information throughout the year. So this is something that we hope to establish this year to make sure that we are in compliance with it. The second item is to update and enforce conflict of interest policy. While the City and County of Denver's Board of Ethics is here, what we will go through and make sure that we do is to make sure that the conflicts are disclosed to each commissioner before serving on the commission and annually going through it with each commissioner as well. So we're starting this year. However, it's going to be something that we establish for the following years. Next is develop a strategy. And for us, I guess the biggest thing that we came out of with the retreat was to make sure that we were setting up these subcommittees in order to make sure that we are trying to hit all of the different findings that the audit office found, which was to make sure that, we were in compliance with our contracts, with the finance piece, and with the data, which is measuring the performance of each vendor. The next one is to create a formal training process. Again, that is something that we hopefully want to start doing in terms of making sure that we have that in our procedural manual as well, to make sure that we are going through it and we are implementing those steps for training. Item number 5 is to conduct evaluations and self-assessments. And again, that's something that we would like to also put within our our policy and procedure manual to be able to have the process and the steps that we take in order to make sure that the commissioners have a self-assessment each year. So we're hoping to implement that this year, but also have those steps within the policy and procedure manual. Next item is update attendance and voting policy. I can't stress this enough. I know that everyone on the board is really busy with everything that they've got on their plates. However, this is also another board that needs your attention, and I think attendance has been an issue, not only these last months, but I know previously it was something that was talked about in terms of having more of an engaging participation within the program. So in efforts to make sure that we are adhering as well to what the auditors is requesting, we've implemented the roll call and making sure that we keep track of that information as well. So just want to make it known that it is important. If you're not going to be here, please reach out, let us know, so that way we can make sure that that is updated within our roll call as well. The 7th item is revised communication methods. And what we're doing internally is to restructure our website through the City and County of Denver, making sure that we have as much transparency, not only for the commissioners, but also for the constituents of the City and County of Denver. So we just want to make sure that everyone is able to look on our webpage, find the information that they need, from the meeting dates to the previous meeting dates that we've had, and they are also able to follow up with any of the documents that we need for the meetings. The last item for the findings on number 2 is um, city ordinance must be followed for agendas. What we are doing is internally, we're making sure that we are posting those agendas, making sure that all of that information is displayed on our website. So going forward, we don't have any discrepancies or any of that information is missing from our website, just to make sure, again, that we have transparency for all the public and for the commissioners if they need to review that information from previous messages. And the last is the audit finding number 3. The Department of Public Safety is not sufficiently monitoring. Let me just move this one really quick. The Department of Public Safety is not sufficiently monitoring vendor invoices and supporting documentation. Items number 1 and 2, what we are doing is making sure that we are establishing a CPCC manual, which will include the policies and procedures, but also overseeing invoicing processes and also making sure that we have that process for reconciliation. So we just want to make sure that we are really taking care of all of the findings that the audit office had found and making sure that we are being as transparent to the commissioners and also to the public. So that is it. If you guys have any questions.
There isn't. I have my hand up for a question. So I just asked a question, and this is back to the communications piece that you had. Was it specified that this is external communication or internal? Because the external piece I heard you address, but was it also um, around the internal communication piece, such as notifying members, things of that nature? Is that also part of updating the communication policy, or was it strictly from an external perspective and how we notify stakeholders and members of the community about the activities and calendar of meetings? Or is it a little bit of both?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay, because that's going to be important. Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure what is happening, but it's telling me that the meeting is going to end in 10 minutes.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, we better hurry. You want to stop sharing? Okay.
There we go.
I
We
actually
better
do have a
move.
question. I'm sorry.
I'm
I do
sorry, I
have a
didn't
question
see
about
your
that
hand. There
last
we go.
one. Could you put that back up one more time? I hope the meeting doesn't end before I ask you my question.
Yes, I can.
I'm
I
so sorry,
apologize.
Claudia.
That's okay. You're fine.
Sorry, did I not see your hand, Mimi? I apologize
You
for
did
that.
not see my hand because I didn't raise
I'm
it. I was
sorry.
too
Okay,
quick to
all
go
right.
like, oh wait, hold on. I'm
All
so
right. I
sorry.
just want to...
Can you see it now?
I can. I'm wondering if that last one is that enough to satisfy that auditor? Sorry, I have a puppy in my lap. Is that enough to satisfy the auditor? Just a manual? Because I thought the finding was something a little bit more in depth. Did I miss that?
To include documented processes for reconciliation. Is that the one that you're asking for?
And I don't know if it's 3.1 or 3.2, but when I was reading the finding, I wondered if a manual was all that they were getting to.
Was it to establish the oversight of the invoicing policy, process or the reconciliation process?
I think the oversight.
I can answer that, Mimi. So, from a perspective, again, when this audit took place, it was during the time frame of where, myself, Emily, and as well as Jeff Holiday, it was the three of us in there. So, of course, with us being, I'll just say, senior leadership or just kind of embedded in this process, the auditor's office question was just, well, how are you establishing oversight of the invoicing process? How are you monitoring the invoicing? So it is just that basic, as Director Gardner had mentioned, just that policy discussion and just having either a manual or a process or policy in place about how we're going to handle contract monitoring, how you look at oversight in establishing that contract. And really what it revolved around was, hey, you had these contracts out here, but did you do any contract compliance? While we had all the information available to us, it was things like, oh, the invoice was submitted 25 days after the end of the month versus 15 days. Who's monitoring that and following up on that? So it was, again, like the director had talked about, just that standard of what goes along with staffing shortages and not having that information readily available for the auditor. But I do think this manual will, while we say a manual, it's kind of two-pronged, that there's an external one for the commissioners that really just talks about what that process looks like, and then just one for Department of Safety with Claudia and Zoe just kind of being new into these roles, that they just kind of have that policy document to refer to say, hey, here's what you need to do for invoice and oversight and contract monitoring. And so just the basics, if that answers the question.
That's fine. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me go back.
Hey,
Problemo. Yes. Hey, Karen. Yes, sure.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Not a question, but an offer. We have the DOAC committee, and Marie had to create some things from scratch. So she's done a strategic plan. She's got templates for meetings, so the rules for attendance, conflict of interest, all those things. So if you all want to borrow or steal stuff from her, I wholeheartedly offer it up to you all so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I think she's got a pretty tight ship that she runs, and I just want to offer any assistance that you all need so you don't have to try to create anything to address some of these audit findings.
Oh, thank you. Obviously, no, appreciate that, Karen. So we will take you up on that for
Nice.
sure. Thank
And then
you.
Claudia, Erin is in the waiting room, so I think all you got to do is approve and let her in. I think it's been a
Got
long
it.
time since I've been in charge of Zoom, but
Let me just not letting me stop the Zoom. I apologize. Oh, here we go. Okay. Um, Okay, and now we have I don't know if Molly's on here. I know that they were having some issues trying to get in.
They were able to join by phone, but I also think we may
Yeah.
need to take a quorum again, like need to
Yeah,
do roll
that's
call to like check on that.
correct.
Sounds
Keep
good.
it in
And I
mind. We
don't
have
think
4
Molly was
minutes.
able to unmute.
I
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
go
I
ahead.
just figured it out. Can you hear me?
Okay.
You want to let's do quorum first, and then we'll go forward with that.
Okay. So Mayor Mike Johnson or Timothy Hoffman, Chief Ron Thomas, Sheriff Elias Diggin, Judge Carrie Lombardi, Katie McLaughlin or Marley, Carrie Heck, Blake Renner, John Walsh, Judge Lori Clark, Deanne Witzke, Orlando Salazar.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hi.
Councilwoman Serena Gonzalez Gutierrez. Councilman Paul Cashman. Councilwoman Sarah Parody. Matthew Kirsch. Jonathan McMillan. Greg Morrow. And Keto Bess.
Okay.
I'm here.
Here. Awesome.
All
So
right.
we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
You
8.
didn't call me. Did you? And I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I saw you, so I was like, "Oh, there
Well,
she is."
Oh, good. I'm like,
so,
sorry. I'm like, wait, what? So no,
all right.
I
There
gotta
was
pay
still
So,
attention to
10.
what I gotta do.
all right. Well, do we have quorum or
We
yes?
do not.
Well, we don't. Okay, here's the thing. We have 2 minutes and 23 seconds, which is not going to be enough time to go over this presentation. I think if there's anything that we make sure we need to do before we get off this phone, and that's leave space for public comment. I want to make sure that happens because we're not going to have time. And looks like, are there any members of the public on the phone that would like to make a comment? Definitely don't want to get off the phone without that. Okay. Um,
Sorry,
we
hey
probably,
Al, sorry, this is Erin, Atencio with the mayor's office.
yeah, hey, Aaron.
Hi, I couldn't find my button quick enough. Is it possible to just resend the link? I was really excited to hear the presentation from the courts. Is it possible to get a different link so we can continue?
I don't know.
I can
Um,
try to set up another link.
Or like I'm happy to send out a Teams meeting or invite. I don't know if that breaks procedure, but I can,
well, if the
yeah.
public won't have the ability to use that link, we technically can't do that because they need access to this meeting.
Correct.
So
And that's
the
where the
meeting
that's
code online is incorrect. So I
okay.
tried to enter through that. So I don't
Yeah.
think the public link is working either.
There you go. And that's that would be the issue with that, Leanne. Unfortunately, we're obligated to have the public on here.
Claudia and I will make sure to take care of that as soon as
Okay.
possible. We'll troubleshoot it and we'll take care of it and make sure that all the communication's sent out before the next meeting.
Okay.
Just so you know, I had to use a private Zoom link because it said that you had to sign in with your own personal link. So that was the issue that I was having, that I had to do that. So if there
Yeah,
could,
more than likely, maybe some of the settings are off. So we'll just troubleshoot it and just make sure that it gets tested and that it's smooth like butter. So we'll take
Yeah,
care of
Okay.
it.
so for me, I could join via my city computer, but I couldn't join via my phone because I was in transition up to my computer. So that's probably right.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we won't be able to get off and then get back on there with the private one. I would much prefer that, but we have to have the public on because according to bylaw. So this meeting will be adjourned. We'll look for communication. Come out next time with the